my story is really near and dear to me because it started on my favorite uncle's birthday. And the 31st, he passed, of course, but the 31st was his birthday, and I kept telling my mom, it'd be funny if this actually happened because I helped take care of him with her, and it's the final days. But 31st around 6 o'clock, I go upstairs and I go to the bathroom and I come out and my water breaks and I'm standing there holding the railing. I'm like, Mom, I think my water broke. And so it's just enough for me to realize that that's what it was. I called you all excited, didn't know whether I should call you because I wasn't having contractions. But I'm like, my water broke. You tell me what to do, we do it. And I think that's it. That little bit of trickle is what's going to happen to me, and then I'm going to go on full labor. Of course, it didn't work out like that. My water broke all over the house. I was cleaning up and putting towels down everywhere because it was just gradually happening. And so I'm like, all right, am I going to get a contraction? I was getting cramps, like cramping. And I'm like, is this it? And my mom was like, I don't think so. I'm not sure. I don't think that's it. And I'm like, but I mean, this is what's happening. So I'm getting ready to go on to labor with this little cramp. The father came and we're sitting there looking at each other because nothing is happening. I think we decided to wait till the next day for you to come. And you did. You came the next morning and nothing was happening. And so we started nipple stimulation. We started drinking garlic and doing things to help my immune system because I had GBS. And so I don't know the technical term or medical terms for how to explain that, but it's something that could potentially harm my baby if it goes on too long, especially since my water broke. So we started taking precautionary measures to help my system just kind of flush itself out and get my contractions going. And the nipple stimulation helped. And I was like, oh, these are what the contractions are supposed to feel like. And then they weren't coming. Yeah, we did the castor oil. And I'm like, oh, I'm good. Castor oil not going to do anything to me. It did. It sent me straight for the bathroom. And the contractions got, a little bit closer together and a little bit stronger. But it wasn't anything significant enough to have the baby. I understood the pattern. I understood it wasn't going to last. So I went with it. And I knew it would come back down. And that was part of me sitting with the doula, talking about it'll end. It'll come in waves. So you just have to ride it out. And the fact that I wanted to have my child naturally, it was like, you have to get through this part in order to do that. I wanted to feel him come out. And so when I was going through it, I was like, it's him. And learning that every contraction is pushing him closer to his exit point. I was so set and ready in my head. I was like, I got this. I can do this. I know it's not going to be easy, but it's necessary for the goal that I had in mind. But 5 o'clock in the morning, I was over it. And I had tapped out. In my head, I'm like, she's going to come in here, do my exam, and I'm going to be ready to go. And when she said 2.5, 3, I just was like, oh, okay. I need some medicine now because I didn't know how much longer I could take the contractions with the Pitocin. They were supposed to come in at 5:30. It's crazy because I remember everything. Like, you had called Kevin to see when they were going to do the exam. And they gave you one time. But I asked the nurse about it right after you got off the phone. And she was like, oh, well, she's not going to keep coming in and doing the exam on you because, they don't want to cause any infection. I said, okay, fine. But I guess me asking her, she must have gone and found the other midwife. And they were like, all right, we're going to do the exam now. And I was like, call us out of your bed. I looked up and you was coming through the door. And I was like, oh, okay, well, she's there. The experience that I had from when my water broke to the completion of just getting my son into the world. So you stayed with me. You were patient. Everything you said would happen, happened. The way you advocated for me when I went to the hospital. The way you it was just everything that I could have asked for a home birth when I didn't get, it made everything come full circle for me. There was no shame in me leaving my home. And it was never a thing of, you can do this past what my threshold was. And I appreciated that because you want things to go the way you want them to go. And when things start to change, to have someone be supportive of that and say, listen to your body and nothing else, it was good for me to have that happen, because you don't get that a lot.